So we go from this call to adventure to resistance to a commitment to go on the journey. Come on. Let's go on the journey. And now we're going to make the commitment and we're going to cross the threshold. And this is where we're going to end today, is this crossing of the threshold. This is when you commit. I'm going to go. Okay. I've been thinking about it. Maybe I'm going to go. Maybe I'm not going to go. The whole first act is about whether I'm going to go or not. Do I or don't I? Will I or won't I? And then the end of Act 1 is, all right, hell yeah, let's go to Jurassic Park. Cheers. Boom. Now we're going to go cross the thresholds. Here's a favorite example of crossing a threshold from some fellow classmates. Normal. Great threshold crossing. They did that for a Red Bull commercial. So let's look at some other examples. Peter Pan, they make this commitment and they cross the threshold and they're going to go literally. I'm going to see if I can get this clip to play. Oops, what just happened here? Literally, they're going to go from, I think it's amazing because this movie actually, or this play, oh no, I did the wrong thing. From current slide. Where's my slideshow? There we go. Okay, so we're gonna watch this. This is incredible. Literally, they've crossed, they've gone to Neverland, and it opens on Act 2.
Second to the right, and straight on till morning. That is the way to Neverland.
And now we're going to introduce them to that world. So we're going to cross. This is them, crossing over, and this is, of course, flying second star straight on till morning. So this is they're crossing the threshold, leaving the nursery, the mother's world, the home, the comfort zone, the nursery, to go into Neverland, this other world. And this is the opening of Act 2, as you saw. Here is the mega slide. Let's just pick some of these. Let's watch some of these threshold crossings, and let's just do some of the famous ones. How about Little Alice in Wonderland?
My. What a peculiar place to have a party. You know, Dinah, we really shouldn't be doing this. After all, we haven't been invited, and curiosity often leads to trouble. Bye, Dinah. Goodbye. Well, after this, I shall think nothing of falling downstairs.
Things are going to get weird. They're going to be different in the other world, right? That's a narcissus flower, which is what Persephone picks when she goes to the other world. It's a flower that symbolizes self-awareness.
Oh, goodness. What if I should fall right through the center of and come out the other side where people walk upside down? Oh, but that's silly. Nobody... Oh, Mr. Rabbit, wait, please.
Notice the repetition of threshold imagery. Bunch of doors. We don't just go through one wall. Give us the experience of traveling. Give us a lot of doors. What's another fun one I like? See, I think Dark Tower is a good example of one that's too simple.
Please enter.
See, it's just one door. Threshold, Guardian, Standard. Okay, one door. But I find that too boring, one door. Okay, but he does land in a wasteland, which is a whole other thing, just like Adam and Eve who leave and land in the wasteland. I want to find, what's it? Wizard of Oz, that's the tornado. It's a fun one. Oh, here we go. Here's a favorite. See, it's a tree. See that tree? Remember, we learned that the tree is a symbol of crossing from one world into another because it's an axis mundi. This symbol was also later used at the end of the movie where they cross through a tree to come back into this world. A prick. I love that it's a prick. A disruption. Now we're in the world of dream, of imagination. We've gone from the world of logic and above and outer into the inner world, into the imagination, into the dream. Into a magical place. And let's watch, we can't watch all of them. I'd love to watch all of them. But why don't we watch this one and then that'll be it. Notice the so first he commits, okay, I will go on the journey. Miniature threshold crossing and microcosm pill going into mouth. This is like him going into inner world. Miniature, just repetition of the same geometry. Entering, crossing. You see, just cross through the door. We're gonna, it's not just going through a wall, going through a door. Let's saturate the shit out of the crossing imagery. Add that poetry. Saturate the poetry. How many ways does he cross right now? What all crosses? Watch, we're gonna have the needle go into his arm.
The pill you took is part of a trace program. It's designed to disrupt your input-output carrier signal so we can pinpoint your location. What does that mean?
It means buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
Right, so he's going to reference all these other examples. We've already seen a reference in this movie to the rabbit. We're going to go through the looking glass. So we got the Alice in Wonderland. He talked about Dorothy.
Did you? Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real?
There's a threshold, the mirror threshold. We can't have him go through the mirror, but we want it in the story.
How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
Now we're talking about dream.
This can't be what?
So we're going to Oz, we're going to Wonderland, we're going to a dream. Now he's going to get swallowed, like he's swallowed into the belly of a whale. He's jumped into freezing cold, deep water. He's shocked, he's freezing. Deepened. Look at that little sperm-looking thing going across the stream. He's crossing the threshold. Now we're going down the rabbit hole. You see a little rabbit hole in the dream?
I got him. Now, Tank, now.
Go down his stomach, down crossing his. See, we're going in. We're going to inner world. and we won't watch the rest of it. But just again, we're going to keep up even more saturation of threshold crossing, lots and lots of threshold crossing. So we'll, you know, I think we should stop there, and we'll continue next week. Let's take us through a little bit of a refresher. Oops. Okay, good. So let me just go back to the top slide, right? So we introduce the reality, we set up the reality, and then we call our character away from it. We call them to separate from who they were and where they came from after setting up who they were and where they came from. And so we're going to do, and these steps that we're going to go through when we do it, we're going to first introduce the status quo. That's our first sequence. Set up the world, show us the character, show us their routine, show us what's comfortable. And then we're going to set up a calling, an inciting incident, and disruption from that world. And this is going to represent the call of the psyche to grow. Then we're going to have some, often, you know, sometimes refusal of the call, resistance, whether we actually have the sequence or not. This is one of the forces in the act one. And we're going to ultimately go from this calling and refusal to an acceptance and a crossing. And when we cross, that acceptance is going to often be reinforced by a sign or a divine aid, a lightsaber, some kind of special thing, special person, special help. And then we're going to cross the threshold, commit to the journey, go down the rabbit hole, through the wardrobe, et cetera, et cetera. And so then we're going to end up in Act 2, in Neverland, in Wonderland, in the other world. And that's where we're going to start next week. See you there. How cool it'd be if I just like said, see you there, and then was like stopped right on the beat, you know, that'd be cool.